tonight because we have launched our new book, Small Bites, and I thought I'd get on here and show you the book because mine just arrived this afternoon. I didn't have any of it for all our marketing or to show you beforehand, so I thought I'd get on, show you a little bit about it, and also tell you a little bit more about the book and what's actually inside it. So I'm going to jump straight in because most of you will be able to watch this on playback, and if anybody's got any questions during the live, you can just pop them in the chat and I'll be able to see those. Hopefully everyone will be able to hear me well enough. I'm sitting right in front of my computer and I've got the volume on, so hopefully everything will be fine. Okay, so as I said, Small Bites is our new book. It was only launched today. It is a limited edition hard copy book. It is also available in ebook as well. So if you like the digital media that we put out, and our ebooks are exactly the same as our cookbooks, in the same format of a picture and the recipe and all the macros and etc. So you get a beautiful ebook that is just like a book as well. But yeah, you can get that in digital or in hard copy. So the recipes are all new recipes. So these aren't reused recipes from any other book or website. I often get asked, you know, is this all in another book? Well, I'm not going to recycle what's in my other books into a new book, okay? So the whole idea behind this book was to create some finger food, canapes, appetizers, small bites, small plates, all those types of food that are great at this time of year when we're having parties and Christmas and things like that. But also for those of you who want easy meals that you can make, have them ready for lunches or dinners and that. Put them in your lunch boxes, in the fridge, and ready, set, go. They're all done. And most of the recipes are super easy, okay? So I'm just going to go through my list here so that you get all the details as quickly as possible, and if anyone's got any questions, fire away. So everything in the book is low carb or keto, with an average of roughly around about 3 grams net carbs per serve. I have written on the front that it is low carb. I did get a question the other day. I've changed that, you know, that I use the word low carb and not keto. Am I not keto anymore? It's still low carb. It's just that keto isn't just a buzzword or anything like that. So all of my recipes, nothing's really changed. If anything, I've gotten cleaner in the ingredients that I use and simpler. I've really done not a major U-turn, but I have really focused on making more recipes that are very quick and easy, but not stupid easy. Like, I'm not going to give you a book on, you know, a piece of cheese on a pretzel. I know we don't eat pretzels, but you know what I mean. I want the recipes to be worthy of my efforts and your money, of course, and that's even for the same for our website recipes as well. But I still want them to be easy enough that anybody can make our recipes and enjoy them, but they've still got heaps of flavor and they're a little bit different than something you're going to find easily on the internet. Okay, so then yes, suitable for all dietary types. So along with all of our cookbooks, if you've already bought some of our books before, you will know that I actually write substitutes or, you know, ways to alter the recipes and that as well too. And we try and hit a lot of the dietary needs that a lot of people ask for in the way of dairy-free, egg-free, nut-free, vegetarian, vegan, keto, of course, low carb, gluten-free, sugar-free, and grain-free. So all the recipes in this book are sugar-free, grain-free, gluten-free, and the majority of them all, I've got some charts here somewhere. I've done a dietary guide. They are the images of these for all the recipes are on the product description as well, so you can actually have a look through and see if, say, you're dairy-free, that, you know, 50 out of the 52 main recipes in the book all have dairy-free options, or they are naturally dairy-free. Hi, Joe. And also the hidden menu, so which I'll talk more about in a minute. So yeah, we really try and hit all of those needs for everyone, just the basic needs. I'm not going into too complex dietary things for, say, Hashimoto's or FODMAP, because it just overcomplicates everything and adds so much more work to all of my books. As you know, I am a high volume producer of recipes. writing literally thousands of recipes over the last nearly 8 years, and I want to focus on what is important to me and what is within my reach. And I'm obviously low carb keto, so I know what dietary, is dairy free, etc. So we'll just work on the wheelhouse that we're comfortable in. So as I said, there's 52 step-by-step recipes. So when I say step-by-step, I say like, I'll just go on here, which I've already shown in the thing. It's actually got this is the right finger. It's actually got the step-by-step. I know you probably can't read that properly, but there is a picture on the Facebook page feed of this particular recipe that actually shows it. There is no sound vegan. This is only for 365 members. No, Pamela, there is sound. You just need to turn up either your device sound or Facebook sound. There's 2 different sounds on your device and for the actual video as well. So one of them's just not on, but yeah, there's sound. Otherwise Dave would be yelling at me from downstairs saying he can't hear me. So yeah, there's step-by-step recipes, but in each of the recipes down the bottom, we've got what's called the hidden menu. So it actually gives you instructions. So for this one, it's got veggie cone. So fill small lettuce leaves with a spoonful of the dip and top with a sprinkle of everything, bagel seasoning and dill. Roll into a cone, and then how you serve those. Everything bagel dip, deviled eggs, hollow out hard-boiled egg halves. Fill each cavity with a small spoonful of the dip. Top with the smoked salmon pieces, a slice of red onion, a sprinkle of capers and fresh salmon roe. So it actually has a hidden menu in there, and I've actually included the dietary, not the nutritional. They're pretty much going to be still as low as the main recipe. If there was something, there's no high carb thing in there. I'm not saying serve this on top of a piece of bread, but you can use keto breads, of course. So yeah, I've just given you the dietary guidelines and that for those as well. So we're still hitting those macros, and that you can actually use a jump to menu to actually find them as well. So in the ebook that you actually get with the hard copy, or if you purchase the ebook separately, all of them have jump to links in them too. So down the bottom of it, you'll see go to index. You can actually click on that and it'll take you back to the index to look for a different recipe. Or if it refers to another recipe in the book, it'll actually have the jump to in the recipe or in the index to take you to that recipe as well. So yeah, we're just trying to give as much as we can in every recipe. Giving you substitutions, alterations to those recipes to make them dairy-free, egg-free, nut-free, whatever that are in them, but a lot of them are already naturally that way. If you look at the dietary guide, these sheets that are in the product descriptions, they might say dairy-free, but as you'll see down the bottom, it actually says that denotes that it could be a dairy-free variation written in the notes. So it might actually have, let's just say the lamb Turkish pan bread made with cheese. It can be made with a dairy-free cheese. We've tested this kind of thing before with the dairy-free cheeses that melt, and they still work perfectly just as well. So in those instances with some substitutions, the dietary macros will go up or down, depending on what the ingredients are that you're substituting. I can't give you every possible combination because I don't know what everybody's going to use, but that is up to you. Okay, so that is in there. There's 70 hidden menu recipes as well. So it's taking over 120 recipes inside this book. And that is including substitutions, hundreds of substitutions and various ways to serve and combine meals as well too. So you've literally got hundreds, if not thousands of ways that you could actually, through the information in this book, change the recipes to fit your needs or serve them in multiple ways given the resources that we've added to the book. So yeah, we do try and add, as I said, a lot of value into every single book that we do. Sorry, I can't read the messages at the moment. I'll come back to the messages. Okay, so the food is finger food, dips, crackers and breads, canapes, small bites and small plates. So there is actually meals in here. So let's just say marrying your chicken meatballs. You could, I've done it that it's small bites where you might have 3 meatballs on a lettuce cup with some of the sauce and a garnish. But you could also serve that as a main meal as well. So you can see the measurements of the servings. You can see the measurements in the ingredients, and then you could divide that. Let's just say if it's 500 grams of chicken mince in that recipe, you could have 250 grams of mince. You can multiply the number of serves to make it into a meal, so you can even still track your macros as a full-size meal. Most of the meals in that can be frozen and kept in the fridge for at least a few days. Things like our new crackers that are in there, the Mad C Sharp crackers are amazing. A funny fact is that I had made a few batches testing them, and they kept eating them, which because they're really yummy. But I kept a stash that I wanted to do another photo shoot with, and they have literally been in an airtight container in my studio for at least 2 months, and they're still crisp and still perfect. So I'll even tell you that for 2 months in a sunny room, it's not even in the pantry, they have kept extremely well, and they are just an amazing cracker. And one of the tips that we gave out over the last couple of months was from testing these, that if you actually make them and you shape them over the top of a silicone mold, the dome molds, the little mini domes, you can actually make beautiful little cracker cups and make like little taco cups and stuff like that out of them as well. So it's a recipe that I think is going to be extremely popular. It's probably, I've made a lot of crackers over the years, which I think a lot of them are really good, and I think a lot of people who have made a lot of my crackers know that we do have some great recipes there. I think this one is probably one of the best. It's got a really nice flavor, but it's the texture of it and that as well too. And out of one batch, I got 110 crackers. So that tells you how far they go. And it wasn't as delicate as some of the crackers that I've made in the past when you roll a wafer thin. And I've given you lots of measurements so that you can really hone down on how I've actually done it. And I actually think I've even got some videos somewhere, so I'll have to sneak that over the weekend onto Facebook so you can see that as well. Fair to say that every recipe in here is 10 or less ingredients. Some might be slightly over, but the majority of them are probably under 8, I'll say that. But in saying that, it's mainly only 1 or 2 main ingredients, let's just say egg and chicken. And the rest is things that are from the pantry, so spices and fresh herbs. You know, I love my herbs and spices. They add flavor, right? So as I said, I'm not going to give you 2 ingredient things that taste like crap. I'm going to give you things that taste nice. And we've had a few discussions on Facebook lately about the amount of ingredients in keto recipes, etc. We've got to remember, like, I know that there's some great brands like Mingle that you can go and buy from the supermarket that have seasonings and stuff like that. I don't. I make my own, and in the books that I write, everyone doesn't have a Mingle in their supermarket, so I actually give you the spices listed. You can use other spices if you wish, but I create those recipes with either a spice mix that we have in the book, but in this instance, most of them are actually ones that you're just using, you know, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of cumin, a little bit of coriander, whatever it might be that's in the recipe. I give you those so that we're not having additives, we're not having fillers and all the other junk that are in there. And even some of the cleaner brands still have things in there that aren't necessarily low carb keto friendly, where I said at the beginning, I'm trying to get even cleaner with all of the recipes that I do. And it gives you options. So you can still go and use your favorite brands if you like. But like I said, if you see a long list of ingredients on any of my recipes, have a look at what they are. And the majority of the time, unless it's something that's slow cooked that needs tomatoes and tomato paste and all of those sort of things, most of them are always seasonings. Okay, so it's usually oil, salt, pepper, some spices, and fresh herbs and limes or lemons or something like that to serve it with, because that's the way I love food. I love it to be seasoned well and have fresh elements like herbs or lemon or lime in that to cut through any fats or any proteins in that as well, because it brings them to life. So there's a little bit of an extra story that you probably didn't expect, but that's what's in this book and in many of my other books and that as well too. But like I said, 10 or less ingredients, including most of those in this book. So really 1 to 3 main ingredients in most of them. The recipes are also, and this has been a big turn for me, and you've probably seen it coming through on the website as well, and our last ebooks and cookbooks. Fast, easy to prepare meals. I'm over anything that takes time to prep. My testers will send me some picture of something that's not keto. Let's just say there was one today that we were discussing. It was steak and vegetables inside pastry, puff pastry. Well, as keto, we've got to make the pastry. Now we know puff pastry and keto fathead pastry, not the same. So you've got to make the pastry, which you don't make the puff most of the time. You have to cook the steak, you have to saute the vegetables, then you actually have to cool them down, then you actually have to put them in the fathead dough that you've made and not stretch it because it's not stretchy because it doesn't have any gluten in it, and then bake it. So all up that takes you a couple of hours. Not my scene anymore. Okay, so I'm trying to cut down a lot of things, keep things really, really simple, really quick and easy. Even though these are small bites, doesn't matter. That's what you're going to be seeing more of from Mad Creations for years to come, because I want to go into my kitchen and knock out 10 recipes in one day as well. But like I said, not a pretzel and a piece of cheese on the end. There'll always be something that's nice and easy and tasty and is going to excite you and keep you on this lifestyle, but simple, fast, fresh, all of those things we've just discussed. That's what's in here. The style of the food is fresh, vibrant, and packed with easy flavours. That's what I've written down on my piece of paper here. Okay, so Small Bites is a limited edition book. We are already halfway through selling the limited edition allotment. The finalised numbers and that will go to our printers on Monday, and printing will commence either that day or the next day, and I'll likely have the stock within the week. So we will be shipping in the last week of November. I'm just saying that this could be earlier, it could be a little bit later, but it's going to be around there. I'm sure every book will still make it before Christmas. We've shipped around this time later, at Christmas time before, and yeah, we get them out fast. We're pretty good with our stock now when it comes, and we get a quick collection and get it out the door. If you haven't noticed, we do work around the clock. I've been awake since 4 a.m. and I think I went to bed about 2 a.m. So it's been a tough day. And our coffee machine died last night, would you believe? Not a good day for coffee. So no stocking of this book afterwards. If there is any left of that allotment, because when we order, I do actually keep some in reserve only to cover anything that might go missing in postage. But in that instance, it's not guaranteed that they'll be available. So get in, if you want it in hard copy, get in now and do that, because it won't be available later. When you order it in hard copy, you do get a copy of the ebook free with it. No, it doesn't cost any less to get it without the ebook. It's $49.95 Australian. For the hard copy book, that's how much I sell my books for, and that's how it is. This one is it's per bound, so it's used a polyurethane glue, so it is actually easy to open, and it will lay flat on your kitchen bench. So there you go. That's pretty much the middle of the book there. So yeah, we're using a new printer in that as well too. This one's done on a digital press, so it's nice and vibrant. The pages are a little bit, they're not thin, well they are thinner, but they're better now in that they will lie open better than some of our previous books that were a thicker, much thicker print. Sometimes it's always like you say, you get the best quality and it doesn't always translate into the best use. So we've got some crazy good quality cookbooks, but they do need the book openers. Now, also I was going to say that if you've already placed on your orders and you want to add any extra books to your order, please give me an email so that we can ship them out at the same time, and you can avoid extra delivery fees in most instances if you're only adding an extra book to your delivery. If not, also just remember, if you're placing an order for a hard copy book now, you can add extra books to your order. We have 6 other books in stock of our other titles, so you can order the 6-pack, and that's, say for instance, to get all 7, use them for gifts or whatever, or a gift for yourself for Christmas. Okay, we get a lot of questions regarding the methods that we have in our books as well too. We write all of our recipes for Thermomix and conventional methods. So if you've got a Thermomix or any thermal cooker, you can use the books as well. There is probably only a couple of recipes in here that we didn't add a method to, and I've added some where you probably won't even bother, you'd probably just do it in a bowl. But yeah, if I'm gonna, there's not a steak in there, but if I'm gonna have a steak recipe, you're not gonna cook a steak in a Thermomix, so I'm not going to not create recipes that are amazing just because they can't be used in one. But in saying that, 99% of most of our books have a thermal method for the recipes that are in there. Not 99%. 99% of the recipes in the books have a thermal method. It's just the few that don't. Like I said, like a kebab, say for instance, or a steak. Our measures in that have US customary and metric measures, and that is for oven temperatures and cups and spoons and stuff like that. I always put the information in the back of our books in that as well too, so that you know what's in that part when you're using a tablespoon, you'll actually see that I've written that it's a 15 ml tablespoon. I know some Aussies are using 20 ml tablespoons, but like we complain that US recipes and that might have cups, and a cup is 240 ml or 250 ml. We are also one of the only countries that have a 20 ml tablespoon, so I use 15 ml, so it's more universal. We might be Aussie, well, I might be Aussie when I'm writing the recipes, but we have a universal audience. So yeah, we try and do all that. The recipes all have macros per serve, and I'm being quite specific with the serves and that as well too. It might be per 2 tablespoons, it might be per 3 meatballs, etc. They're used as a guide. If you've got any other questions regarding macros and stuff like that, I suggest you actually enter all the ingredients into a macro calculator and calculate your own. Of course, brandings can change. It can change in serving sizes if you get the fat off a piece of steak and somebody else doesn't, all that kind of things. But it's just a dietary guide. It's pretty generic, and we use a universal macro calculator that we also use on our website that is used by thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of bloggers, etc. across the globe. Okay, so I've already said about the stock coming in. You can add all the extras, and now I'll just have a quick look at the questions. And as I said, I will just give you some stats on these dietary guides just before I go to the questions and that as well too. If you haven't had a look, like let's just say I do get a lot of people asking about dairy free. So 50 of the 52 step-by-step recipes have dairy free, are dairy free or have dairy free options, and it's as simple as there's so many dairy free options now in the supermarkets and stuff like that too. We do test with these and that as well too, so I don't just add them in there. There's even recipes that you'll look and you'll go, Megan, you could have had that as vegan or you could have had it as egg-free easily. But some recipes I don't, because either it is something to me that it is part of that recipe. Let's just say it was an egg souffle and you said you could do an egg souffle without eggs. Well, it's really not an egg souffle, is it? Even though I do that with some of my recipes. Fed Up compliant is another big question that we've had about this book. So 27 of the 52 recipes are Fed Up compliant. So for anyone that doesn't know what Fed Up compliant is, it's our 4-day meal plans that we've been using for the last year and a half, that I obviously lost over 20 kilos myself on. So that just means that they are high in protein, low in carbs and fats, and they are compliant in the way that they use only the ingredients that are found in those books, not using additional things like nuts, nut meals, anything like that, cream, etc. And as I said, a lot of what I do now is bleeding into, a lot of the recipes that I do in the way that I'm trying to clean it up, because I want to be able to eat them. So I prefer not to eat a lot of food, different ingredient foods now. So you'll see a lot of those maybe in a recipe, but they are also eliminated from a lot of recipes now. So just trying to make myself healthier and that as well, so everyone else gets to make out like a bandit in that way. And egg free, say 42 of the 52 can be egg free, or they are naturally egg free. There's not a lot of eggs in this book. It's not overly like baked things. Like I said, they're fresh, fast, easy recipes that you can whip up like a whole entertainer's, not charcuterie board, but like a whole platter, whole table full of foods. In half the time that we would normally spend at Christmas. I used to spend days, if not weeks, preparing suckling pigs and drying out the skin and all those crazy things. We've done some crazy Christmases. But yeah, now it would be like, right, what can I make in 2 hours for 20 people? And hit a whole heap of different needs. We've got a vegetarian, we've got a vegan, we've got people that don't eat chicken, we've got people who don't eat pork. So, you want to have things that you can easily make, easily adjust to suit those sort of needs, and that's what this book's about. And it's not a Christmas book, okay? So you're not going to go in there and find gingerbread. It's actually a book that is perfect for this time of the year, but it's perfect for all year round as well too, okay? And that is it. So as you can see, she's a very pretty book, full colour, and as I said at the back, you've got things about the ingredients and the hidden menu. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I need to say. Anyway, that's the book. Now let me have a quick look and see if there's any questions I need to answer. If you've got anything to ask, please ask it now, or pop it in the thread and I will come back to it later, because I'm going to jump off. I didn't want to be on here for a long time. It's just always good to get these sort of things into a video so that people can watch back, okay? Do, do, do. Okay, so it just looks like everybody's talking about sound. Okay. Looks like I'm getting off easy. Okay, so no questions. Well, I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. I'm going to actually relax tonight. I'm like gonna watch some TV and probably go to bed early because it's a really early morning and it's been a really long day. Just if anyone's got any emails or inquiries regarding anything that they're to do with their orders and stuff like that, please email me using the email address that you've ordered with. I love getting emails. I can't, this is not working, and then it's not in their name and it's not in that email. Like, I need that information to be able to help you as quickly as possible. I don't have the time, especially while we're this busy, to be chasing, looking up a first name and trying to match you with a first name or something like that. And that doesn't always work either. So yeah, if you've got anything, just give me time as well. Please don't email again and again, or please don't email me and then tag me on Facebook because I'm not on Facebook. Watching all the tags and stuff like that, I get too many anyway. So, but one email I will get to you. It's just, like I said, we've got a lot coming through today. It's launch day. But usually the turnaround time is within the hour anyway. But have a lovely weekend. Don't forget, if you want the book, get in, order it now. Limited stock. It will more than likely sell out this weekend. So it is I love it, in the door and out the door edition. And the ebook will be here to stay. So if you can't pick that up this weekend, you can pick it up later. Okay, so have a great weekend and I'll talk to you all very soon.